It's a very interesting event because it's the first time since 2017 and many years before that in which you had a total solar eclipse happen over vast areas of land that have a lot of population density. In this case, North America, mostly United States, but it'll go over parts of Mexico as well and Canada. What's interesting about it is it's a relatively long eclipse. The moment of totality, when the moon completely blocks out the disk of the sun, is called totality, and that's when it gets dark, almost as dark as nighttime. You can feel the temperatures drop. It's longer in duration than the one in 2017, which was, I think, the peak duration was about 3 minutes and 40 some odd seconds, and this one's going to be 4 minutes and 20 seconds long. Up here in Buffalo, or near Buffalo, New York, we'll have about closer to 4 minutes, maybe 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but it's noticeably longer than the one in 2017. It'll provide us the opportunity to study the sun's corona, the outermost atmosphere, which has some very interesting properties that we don't fully understand yet. And so between the science that you could do and the spectacle, and how long the duration of totality is, it's going to be a very special event for everyone who could see it.
What new things do you hope to learn about the sun's corona?
Well, we're interested in learning about its structure, which are driven by magnetic fields that the sun produces. So essentially the sun is a spinning ball of hot plasma. So you don't really think of it as spinning because it's just the really bright thing in the sky that you can't really look at with your unaided eyes. But it rotates, and because it's not a solid body, it rotates at different speeds depending on what latitude you are, north or south of the equator. And because of this, it's called differential rotation. So it sort of like grinds and rotates past itself, and the magnetic fields that it generates get sort of twisted up on one another and end up reconnecting, what's called. When you have a north and a south pole come together, they explode and they convert all of that magnetic energy into an explosion of electromagnetic fields, which drives the outflow of plasma, which is essentially charged particles. And they stream out deep into the solar system. And the thing that's really curious about this is the corona is furthest from the sun, the center of the sun. It's outside of the sun, it's way out into the solar system, and yet it's the hottest part of it, other than the core, which is of course much more dense. But it's like, you know, when you're in front of a campfire and you move further away from it, you'd expect it to get colder. It actually gets hotter for a time, and we believe that has to do with the change in density. And the number density, the mass density is low. So the thermal energy density is low, but the temperature is really high. And this is driven by magnetic field reconnection events. And we believe that by studying transient events, which are like time-varying sudden changes in magnetic field structure and density variations, we could learn a lot about what's driving the properties and the dynamics of the corona.